This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
God, it feels good to win baseball games, huh?
Yeah.
It feels good to win baseball games in the way you just did.
Exactly.
Mariners win this one 10-2 over the Atlanta Braves, and you get an offensive performance, maybe one of the best of the year, to be honest. Yeah, you didn't go up against an ace or anything like that, so maybe that takes it down just a peg. But man, it was good to see this team put together some really good at-bats. Bryce Miller was good. Fine. He's about as good as Bryce Miller is going to be this year. I feel like that's just kind of what we're going to get from him is between 5 and 6 innings and between 3 and 4 runs. We'll see what ends up happening. Or between 2 and 4 runs, I should say, with today. Sure. But just you needed this. You absolutely needed this. I talked yesterday about this team needs to turn around right now. It seemed like there was a little bit of urgency today, Christopher Crawford.
Yeah, it's hard to not overstate how big some wins are. Yes. Like it doesn't erase yesterday. It doesn't erase the sweep against Cleveland. It doesn't erase how terrible they were on the road trip before. But this feels like a get-right game. Now, So did last Sunday. If you want to be a negative Nelly, that's what that felt like too, and it turned out not so much. But this was fun. This is a reminder, and I've talked about this so many times that I'll do it again, and I'll probably do it one more time or maybe a couple more times. I hope I actually get a chance to do it a lot. Ceiling and floor. The ceiling of this offense competes with any offense in baseball. In fact, I would probably argue that the ceiling, when everything is clicking for this offense, is the best in the American League.
Agreed.
But the floor is substantially worse than a lot and probably worse than every playoff contender except for the Rangers right now.
Yes.
But this was a nice reminder. You got a solid starting pitching performance. You get a really nice effort from your bullpen in low leverage situations, to be clear, but still nice to see the success there. And your offense just comes up huge. And oh, by the way, your starting catcher in a almost throwaway moment hits his 52nd homer. This was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Anders, for handling yesterday. I really get it.
No worries at all. Thanks for hopping in, saying your 30 seconds and getting the F out of there. So
no kidding.
No, it's great. Like I feel like, and you mentioned the Cal Raleigh home run. It's in not a huge situation, but every home run he hits now is going to be like, dang, he just hit another home run.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where everyone after this is going to impress me more and more and more.
It's incredible. Incredible. I joked about this on social media. Not really joked. It's true.
Yeah.
Think of a 30 home run season. Okay.
Julio Rodriguez.
30 home run season. Then you got to add 17 to that. And then you got to add 5 more just for S&Gs.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible. Yeah. And you're getting it from your starting catcher. Guys, Cal Raleigh can have not another hit the entire year. This is still one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen in my life. Not just from a catcher, from any Mariner player ever. But I have a honey funny feeling. I have a honey funny feeling. I don't know if that's a phrase or not, but
use it. It's a new Christopher Crawfordism.
Yeah, a honey funny feeling. It's a new country music song. I have a funny feeling we might get some more Big Dumper magic, and
I really hope so.
It was really cool to see, though. And you know what? Real quick, I know we're going to talk about the offense in the second half. There's something about when you hit 5 homers that's really cool. When you hit 5 homers the way the Mariners did, when none of them are even remotely cheapies, like all of them just absolutely mollywopped.
Ding dongs.
It's a different feeling.
Mariners POSTCAST here. Anderson Hurst, Christopher Crawford. We go live right after every single Mariner baseball game. Please like the video if you haven't already. Let's start with the start here. Bryce Miller. This is just kind of a Bryce Miller start. And it's not awful. I'm not like this, nothing against him, but he's your 4th or 5th best pitcher, and that's okay. That is totally fine. Giving you, what was his final line tonight? Let me double
5
check.
1/3 innings of 2-run baseball, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Sorry to interrupt. I just
No. Thank you. I was going to need to
that's
look at that longer.
That's okay. I'll just say I thought he was solid. I thought he was really solid. The first 4 innings, I thought he was better than solid. And here's the thing you just got to keep in mind. I'll give you the exact stat. I was supposed to pull it up. I didn't tell Anders I was going to do it, but I was supposed to put it up in my head. What Bryce Miller has done through the first 3 innings and the first time through a lineup compared to the second time, the difference is astronomical. And I got to be honest, when Matt Olson just absolutely destroys that homer, I'm thinking ruh-roh. But I thought Miller actually did a pretty nice job. And I'll say this too. He should have gotten out of that with a 2-1 lead. JP Crawford's defense is
it's very bad.
It's so bad. That's a ball a competent shortstop has to get to.
Both of them on either side.
On either side. It's just not good enough, guys. And, congrats to Crawford on the RBI single. He needed that so bad. The team needed that too. It was a 5-2 game. You kind of feel like, hey, you've got this 4-run lead. Now you feel an awful lot better. But Bryce Miller should have gotten out of this thing with 1 run. And that now makes, even giving up 2 runs, his last 2 starts, he's gone 11 1/3 innings and given up 4 runs. You'll take that and then some. That is absolutely going to work from what should be your 5th starter.
Yes.
We'll see how Steele pitches going forward.
We'll see it after tomorrow.
Be your 5th starter. Yeah, you can't overstate how big tomorrow is too.
It's a huge game. I want to put a pin in the pitching for now because the story of this game is the offense. I still want to come back because I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
Regarding what happened in the 6th inning. So let's talk about the offense. Before we get to the rest of it, I mean, can I give my stat real quick? I just pulled it up. Stat, go ahead.
First time through the order for Bryce Miller. Hitters are hitting 206, 284, 373. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
The second time, and this is before today, 314, 368, 571. That is one of the reasons why, if you want to be the negative, it's concerning going forward because you're going to need him to face lineups more than one time for sure over these next 20 games. The positive there is I'm super excited to see what Bryce Miller can do out of the bullpen in the postseason.
Yeah.
Super excited because I think that stuff plays up and then some, especially going max effort with that fastball that has so much spin. That's something I am looking forward to seeing. But boy, that second time through the lineup stats, those are ugly. That's an MVP season. In fact, that's a Cooperstown bound player for sure. If you have like 4 or 5 of those seasons.
So I guess I'll ask the question now, since it's very relevant to the stat that you just gave me. Leaving Bryce out there for Ronald Acuna.
Here's the only reason I didn't hate it. Ronald Acuna is bad right now.
He's bad. Yeah.
He's having a really rough go of it. So I didn't mind that. And I also thought it was the right call to go to Spire in that situation. Bases shouldn't have been loaded because JP Crawford should have made one of those plays. But I would have liked to have seen Spire get the strikeout there, keep it a 2-1 game. And then, obviously he scored more than enough runs afterwards. And we'll talk about that for sure. But I didn't mind it. Obviously, you're being careful still because it doesn't take much for that guy to get right. One of the elite, true offensive players in this sport. But I didn't mind it.
Okay. Yeah, I just felt like, 2 straight, albeit shouldn't have been hits, but they were.
Sure.
And the stat that you just gave me kind of backs that up, where it's like, I wonder if you go to the bullpen here for Ronald Acuna.
Right.
Instead, he does. Granted, nothing huge happens from leaving him in there. He just walks him, but still it loads the bases, moves the runner over to third, if I remember correctly, and then that allows the sacrifice fly to happen, which tied the game at the time. So
sure, that's fair.
I would have liked to see like, hey, this is his second start off the IL.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm sure they have those stats too.
Yeah. As
soon as any sort of weird stuff happens with him, you got to pull him out of. He's got to have a quick hook from now on.
That's fair. Yeah. Obviously you're thinking too that you probably don't want Gabe Spire based on how he pitched yesterday and they just don't really have that guy right now in the fifth inning.
No, they don't.
Maybe if Emerson Hancock will look better in his relief chance, you'd give something like that. But I think you kind of just were telling Bryce Miller, make Ronald Acuna beat himself, and then hopefully we can get Harris out.
I agree. But we're burying the lead here. We're going to get to the offense in just a second, but let's give some love to our sponsors. Here on the Mariners Postcast, that's my buddy Jack.
Yeah.
That's my buddy Jack.
Nice.
What's up? He said he was going to he said he was going to comment on the postcast tonight because I've been kind of bothering him because he's a frequent listener. I'm like, dude, I'll put your comment up there. Let's go.
Beautiful.
Jack, let's say
we'll talk about Randy in the second half.
Yeah, the offense looked like you weren't playing MLB The Show against me because it would look a lot different. It would have looked like the last few nights for the Mariners offense if that was end up being the case. But let's give some love to our sponsors, and then we'll come back here on the Mariners Postcast.
This episode is brought to you by Zippix toothpicks. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings in the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligrams and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. Guys, anything you can do to not vape or smoke is good. So if you need to use Zippix to get that little bit of rush without harming others and harming yourself, something that I can recommend pretty easily. Go to zippixtoothpicks.com. Use code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. You must be 21 or older to enter. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zippixtoothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix toothpicks.
Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime-flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. You know who probably used some 5-Hour Energy today? The Seattle Mariners, because they looked ready to play this game from the start, which is so great to see. So I would not be surprised if they had some 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. And you can do it too on the golf course. Golf's all about good times and good people and good flavors. The grape ginger lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary and excludes the Masters tournament, and it ends October 31st, 2025. Welcome back to the Mariners Postcast. Anderson Hurst, Christopher Crawford with you. We go live right after every single Mariner baseball game. We talked about Bryce in the first segment. We always start with the start for those who are new here. We start with the start. We talk some offense, then we go to our unsung hero. Chris, let's get the offense in there because they were the story of this baseball game. Bryce was good, but you needed some offense to kind of get through the middle part of this game. And boy, did they deliver, specifically the top of your order. I kind of teased going into today's episode before we went live. I had a question for you, and I just thought of another one. Okay.
Sure.
Number one, was that the best game Julio Rodriguez has played as a Major League Baseball player? All things considered, I realize he probably has some games where he has better stats, but I want to throw in that amazing catch he made as well.
Sure.
Considering the moment it was in, too, it was obviously his first home run was in a tie game in the top of the first inning. And then his second home run came in a tie game as well. 2 very clutch moments from J-Rod. I think all things considered, and especially where the team is at right now, he kind of put the team on his back in that moment. Both offense and defense, just for me, the best J-Rod performance I have seen from him in a Mariner uniform.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that just because of the pressure that was involved in this game as well. Like the fact that this was such a must-win game. I know he has those games that he played in Kansas City in 2023 when Julio was
bonkers.
I say this without any hyperbole. I've never seen a hitter hotter than Julio Rodriguez was during that time frame. Yeah, I would probably say so. He was terrific, and he got them off to such a needed start, too. It was nice to see Big Dumper draw that walk, and then Julio just gets behind 2 strikes, and that has just not mattered for Julio that much. Nope. That just hasn't mattered. And, he does strike out once today, but it was just such a huge homer. And then 6 innings later, let's be honest, this offense stunk from the first inning on. And then in the 7th inning, with 2 outs, Julio absolutely had struck out a couple pitches before. We'll ignore that completely because it doesn't fit my narrative whatsoever. But that's not even a bad pitch. It's right at the knees. Yeah. It's a pretty good location, and he just shellacks that baseball out of here.
Such a good piece of hitting.
That's the biggest moment of the year, folks.
Yes.
The biggest moment of the year, because you are so screwed if you lose this baseball game. You're screwed. You're done. You're done. I'm sorry. I know they would be still in the wild card lead. I'd have no confidence in this baseball team if you don't win this game. None. 0.
And consider, go ahead, continue.
No, you go ahead.
And I'm just considering what happened after that too. That seems like it woke up the rest of the offense.
Exactly right, because what happens on the very next pitch after Julio Rodriguez? Gino Suarez hits that home run. Terrific game from Gino today. Reaches 3 times. The offense was really good. My one negative from the offense is Randy Arozarena had a great game today. He scores twice. He has the hit. He draws the couple of walks. If Randy Arozarena is the out left fielder next year, I'm going to throw a fit. He's bad. He's a bad defensive player. And it nearly cost you today because that ball has to be caught. It has to be caught. Yeah. It was such a bad read in the first place. And then piss poor hands. Piss poor. And it nearly cost you really bad. So Randy was great, though, offensively. Congrats on a couple more steals.
Yeah.
Draws 2 walks, and I believe he's hit by a pitch as well. So a 3-reach game. That was pretty awesome to have from your offense all around. Big Dumper, of course, we'll talk about that a little bit more. But the Josh Naylor homer was probably an unsung moment from this game because, you win 10-2, but it's 6-2, and Josh Naylor has just looked like turds for a good couple of weeks here. He just hasn't been on time with anything. And boy, oh boy, does he ever take advantage of a mistake. That's not what I'm saying. He should be the designated hitter, Craig. I'm sorry. That should be really blatantly obvious based on what I just said. I'm sorry. Thank you for pointing out if I didn't say designated hitter. Randy Arozarena is absolutely a huge part of the Mariners going forward.
Yes.
As the designated hitter.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we clarified because it's you said if he's in left field next year, which a lot of people can think, does that mean if you don't want him on the team?
Apologies. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing it up. He should absolutely be part of the team. He should be the designated hitter and play 15 to 20 games in the outfield, maybe even 30. But
the issue is you have 2 of those players that you feel like, hey, if they're designated hitters, fine. Him and JP Crawford, right?
Right. Well, and JP Crawford is going to be the shortstop next year. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to happen. He just makes too much money. It's just going to happen. Anyway, that play's got to be made by JP or by JP and by Randy Arozarena. But that homer from Naylor was just massive because hopefully that leans to more of him driving the baseball. We just haven't seen it very much in 2020 or in the last couple of weeks.
Yes. Yeah. He's been looking pretty bad lately. And I like how he got the day off yesterday. I don't think it's coincidence that he looked a little rejuvenated today after getting that day off. It seems like he's dealing with something physically. So hopefully it's not going to hinder him long-term in terms of the rest of this season. But regarding Randy's defense, I have a quick question for you. It seems like he's much better going forward than he is going backward. Is that an adjustment that can be made? Like, hey, you start a few feet back.
No.
I know you'll probably get a couple more hits because of that, because it drops in, but
nope. It's not an issue with athleticism, as many of you brought up. You're also talking about Randy Arozarena like he's 24. Guys, he's on the other side of 30. This is not going to get better. This is not going to be, it's not like the Mariners haven't been working with Randy Arozarena for over a year and a half, guys. He's a designated hitter. There's lots of guys who are fast that aren't good defensive players. Ronald Acuna Jr. should be a designated hitter. He has some of the worst instincts in the outfield of any player I've ever seen. He's also one of the most athletic and best offensive players. He's not a good defensive player. It's never going to change. The adjustment that I guess you can make is maybe playing him deeper, like you were saying, is something that takes away some of these doubles, and he's just not a good defensive player. It's okay. It's okay. The Seattle Mariners have to make an adjustment and get a better left fielder next year. They're going to have to make a lot of changes next year, but Randy Arozarena is a really, really good hitter, and I love having him on the baseball team, just to make that clear.
Real quick, regarding the offense as a whole, you hit, 4 or 5 home runs today, including fouls. I think it's 5. Yeah. But to me, what makes this performance so much better, because this team hits, I think they're 3rd or 4th in home runs total in MLB as a team. But what makes this be a 10-run effort and a blowout by the end of the day, which is great to see, by the way, is the walks, guys. Yeah. If you're going to be a team that is relying on the home run, that's okay, right? And I don't mind that at all. I love how they leaned into it. They brought in Suarez and just like, all right, let's hit some bombs. Let's go. You're going to go through stretches where you don't hit home runs. That's fine. You're not the ball and play team, but the way you combat that variance is you walk. You get people on base for when you hit those home runs. Both Julio's home runs were 2-run shots today. If those are both solo shots, we're talking about a completely different game at this point. You have the most walks you have all season with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 walks. Everyone, I guess, if you're including pinch hitters, of the 9 players who started, 7 of them had a walk today. That is very good. Working the count, getting on base. You're not going to have a lot of singles and slappy dap hits. Be on base for when the big one comes, and that's what they did today. That's the biggest difference for me.
You ready for a crazy stat, though?
Ooh, crazy stat. Here we go.
Of those 9 walks, only 1 run scored. Isn't that crazy? Like,
that is crazy.
Of those 9 walks, other than Big Dumper's walk where they hit the home run.
Julio. Yeah.
But here's where you're still right, and obviously you're right, because walks are good. Don't get out. Don't get out. What a crazy thing to think.
Crazy concept.
What it was it was a good example. Number 1, Hurston Waldrop just didn't have his best command. Number 2, shaky umpiring again. Number 3, they saw the ball well today.
Yes.
They saw the ball well today. They didn't beat themselves. And no, the 9 walks, just one of them scores, which is kind of crazy. You really could have had like a 14 or 15 run effort today.
Yeah.
JP Crawford had a horrible at bat after a couple of free passes today. Unfortunately, feels like we're picking on him, but it's just
it's not. He was the worst player today. Like,
it's not great right now, but it was great to see that they stayed within themselves and they didn't chase. The chase today was at a bare minimum. My unsung hero for today is Victor Robles.
Oh, dang it! Come on.
There's something about Victor Robles that just. You saw it before the game, right? You saw him meeting with those guys. You saw them doing their little huddle. Victor Robles has become a really important part of the Seattle Mariners on the field and off the field. And they missed him. They really missed him, in part because they couldn't use him in some situations.
Yeah.
But I just also think there's a presence about Victor Robles, and a double and a walk today. And he was not just this was not just a patronizing, oh, Victor Robles is back type of thing. He was a really good baseball player for them today. So sorry, Anders. That's my unsung hero.
All right, I'm scrambling. I'm scrambling to find one. Well, not to mention just we talked about Randy's defense and left. When Dom can zones and right, you notice it even more just because there's it's Julio and a bunch of nothing out there. But having Robles that can, hold his own in right field. Julio can shade a little more towards Randy, cover a little more of that left to center field gap a little bit. I just feel like he is a big part of this team. And I like what you said about off the field as well. He has an energy that he brings that's kind of different than everyone else. He had a nice double today as well. Unsung was a mustache. Great call. That's a good call. That's a great call. My unsung hero, Jorge Polanco.
Nice game.
He's bringing it back. He's being the player that we need him to be at this point. He didn't play second base today because of Leo Rivas, but I honestly, if you're gonna shuffle things around and if you're talking next year, I understand where we're still reacting to this game, but I feel more confident with him at second base than I do with Randy in left field at this point, in terms of his defense. So I understand that's not a 1-for-1 swap.
No, I understand what you're saying. The only reason I'll disagree with you slightly is, I've talked about my tortilla chip players, and Jorge, that is just asking, like, that's putting the Pringles in the middle of like a toddler section. You know what I mean? And saying, squish them and see what happens. That's my thing with Jorge Polanco being up the middle. Sure. I will say this though, I'm probably looking for a way to bring Polanco back. I'm looking for a way. Like, it's not a perfect fit. He can't be the third baseman. In my personal opinion, he can't be the second baseman. In my personal opinion, he can't be the DH because that should be Randy Arozarena. But maybe you find a way where he can play a little bit of those places. Maybe I wouldn't mind Jorge Polanco as my first baseman next year. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah. Just a quick sample size alert. It's small, but through September, so we're 6 days in at this point. It's 4 games for Polanco. He's 5 for 12.
That'll work.
Two walks, 417 batting average, 500 on base, a 667 slugging for a 1.167 OPS. Yeah. He had a 792 OPS in August. He had an 888 OPS in July.
It's been great. If you take away that stupid May, Jorge
and June. June was bad too. Yeah.
June was pretty rough too. I forgot about that. But in particular, May was just like, it was so hard to watch him play after being so good in April. But it's great.
But it seems like he's back.
Yeah. Everybody today took good at bats.
Yes.
Every single person, even Harry Ford. And by the way, that's how you're supposed to make a debut, Dan. That's how MLB debuts are supposed to work.
10-2 game. Let's get him in there. Have some fun. Let's go.
Real quick, a shout out to Dan Wilson here.
Okay.
You need to let Big Dumper play as much as possible in these types of situations because he's chasing history. It would have been real easy to say, let's pinch hit Big Dumper here. Nope. Big Dumper's got a chance to have one of the great all-time offensive seasons. Let him work. Let him cook. Now, replace him defensively in the bottom of the ninth? Sure. Absolutely. But Big Dumper, shout out to Dan for letting him hit in that situation because it's awesome to see 52 homers.
One word answer because we're late, Chris. Polo plays average first base. Would you rather have Polo or Naylor?
Probably Polo. Yeah. Probably. You know why? Because we have a ownership group that's super cheap and
it costs less.
That matters. That absolutely matters. I wish it didn't.
Yeah, and I think the offense drop-off is not as significant as a lot of people recognize, especially because he can switch hit as well. All right, chat, ask that question to Ty and Colby when you check in with them early next week. They have a great couple episodes from this week as well, including some fun ones that I won't spoil. Hopefully the Mariners can continue this tomorrow. It's a big game tomorrow. It's go time, guys. I said it yesterday on the loss. It just because you won today doesn't mean it's not go time anymore. Nope, you have to continue this. You got to win tomorrow. Win this series. Come home. Do your job. 9:00 a.m. Pacific time.
Oh, dumb.
On Roku, by the way. If you have MLB TV and you're like me, you like watching other MLB games, tomorrow's game is not blacked out. So just so you guys know, you can watch Mariners game on MLB TV tomorrow. So
9 a.m.
We'll talk to you guys after the game. Anderson Hurst, Chris Crawford, and last words, Chris Crawford.
9 a.m. is so stupid.